Right now, right now, right now, this instant, this very instant, right now. It's story time with Uncle Scotty, and I could not be more excited. We have our own mugs. We've been reading Fantastic Mr. Fox by Roald Dahl. Mr. Fox, making a cleaning, went to Boggis's chicken coop, got 3 chickens. Went to Bunce's storehouse, got ducks, geese, ham, bacon. Sent all that home. Mrs. Fox is preparing a feast for the foxes, the badgers, the weasels, the rabbits, and the moles. So that feast is getting prepared. Fox says, I've got to run one more errand and I'll be home for dinner. So let's see what happens, shall we? Chapter 14, Badger has doubts.
Just one more visit,
cried Mr. Fox. And I bet I know where that'll be, said the only small fox now left. He was the smallest fox of them all. Where? Said Badger. Well, said the smallest fox, we've been to Boggis's, and we've been to Bunce's, but we haven't been to Bean. It must be Bean.
You are right,
said Mr. Fox.
But what you don't know is which part of Bean's place we are about to visit. Which?
They both answered together. They both asked together.
Aha,
said Mr. Fox.
Just you wait and see.
They were digging fast as they talked. The tunnel was going forward fast. Suddenly, Badger said, Doesn't this worry you at all, just a tiny bit, Foxy?
Worry me?
Said Mr. Fox.
What?
Oh, this stealing. Mr. Fox stopped digging and stared at Badger as though he had gone completely dotty.
My dear old furry frump. Frump. A frump. You know what frump is? Frump. Frump. You dear old furry frump, he said. How do you know anyone in the whole world who wouldn't swipe a few chickens if his children were starving to death?
There was a short silence while Badger thought deeply about this.
You are far too respectable,
said Mr. Fox. There's nothing wrong with being respectable, Badger said.
Look,
said Mr. Fox.
Boggis and Bunce and Bean are out to kill us. You realize that, I hope.
I do, Foxy. I do indeed, said the gentle Badger.
But we're not going to stoop to their level. We don't want to kill them.
I should hope not, indeed, said Badger.
We wouldn't dream of it,
said Mr. Fox.
We shall simply take a little food here and there to keep us and our families alive, right?
I suppose we have to, said Badger.
If they want to be horrible, let them, said Mr. Fox. We down here are decent, peace-loving people. Peace-loving people.
Badger laid his head on one side and smiled at Mr. Fox. Foxy, he said, I love you.
Thank you,
said Mr. Fox.
And now let's get on with the digging.
Now, if I had told my person, I love you, and she said, thank you, that would have been a little sad. But perhaps that's not the relationship that Badger and Fox have. Maybe it's okay to say thank you instead of saying, I love you too. I'm not judging, supporting. 5 minutes later, Badger's front paws hit against something flat and hard. What on earth is this? What on earth is this? He said. It looks like a solid stone wall. He and Mr. Fox scraped away the soil. It was a wall, but it was built of bricks, not stones. The wall was right in front of them, blocking their way. Now, who in the world would build a wall under the ground? Who in the world would build a wall under the ground? Asked Badger.
Very simple, said Mr. Fox. It's the wall of an underground room. And if I'm not mistaken, it is exactly what we are looking for.
Do one more. Chapter 15. Bean's secret cider cellar. Sounds like alliteration. Technically, I guess it is, even though secret starts with an S. It's all secret cider cellar. Mr. Fox examined the wall carefully. He saw that the cement between the bricks was old and crumbly, so he loosened a brick without too much trouble and pulled it away. Suddenly, out from the hole where the brick had been, there popped a small, sharp face with whiskers. "Go away! Go away!" it snapped. "You can't come in here. It's private." "Good Lord," said Badger. "It's Rat."
You saucy beast, said Mr. Fox. I should have guessed we'd find you down here somewhere.
"Go away!" shrieked Rat. "Go on, beat it. This is my private pitch."
Be quiet, said Mr. Fox.
"I will not be quiet," shrieked Rat. "This is my place. I got here first." Mr. Fox gave a brilliant smile. Ding! Flashing his white teeth.
My dear Rat, he said softly, I am a hungry fellow, and if you don't hop on it quickly, I shall eat you up in one gulp.
That did it. Rat popped back. That did it. Rat popped back fast. Whoa, this sentence. That did it. Rat popped back fast out of sight. Ropped. Whoa, what a sentence. Okay, we got it. We got it. Are you ready? The words are right here, Uncle Scotty. That did it. Rat popped back fast out of sight. One more time. That did it. Rat popped back fast out of sight. Okay, now it's getting ridiculous. He popped back fast out of sight. That did it. Rat popped back fast out of sight. Mr. Fox laughed and began pulling more bricks out of the wall. When he had made a biggish hole, probably could say medium, but biggish hole, he crept through it. Badger and the smallest fox followed him in. They found themselves in a vast, damp, gloomy cellar.
This is it,
said Mr. Fox. This is what? Said Badger. This place is empty. Where are the turkeys? Asked the smallest fox, staring into the gloom. I thought Bean was a turkey farmer.
He is a turkey man, said Mr. Fox. But we're not after turkeys now. We've got plenty of food.
Then what do we need, Dad?
Take a look around, said Mr. Fox. Don't you see anything that interests you?
Badger and the smallest fox peered into the half-darkness. As their eyes became accustomed to the gloom, they began to see what looked like a whole lot of big glass jars standing up on shelves around the walls. They went closer. They were jars. There were hundreds of them, and upon each one was written the word cider. The smallest fox leaped into the air. Oh, Dad, he cried out. Look what we found! It's cider!
Exactly, said Mr. Fox.
Tremendous, shouted Badger.
Bean's secret cider cellar, said Mr. Fox. But go carefully, my dears, don't make a noise. This cellar is right underneath the farmhouse itself.
Cider, said Badger, is especially good for badgers. We take it as medicine. 1 large glass 3 times a day with meals and another at bedtime.
We will make the feast into a banquet, said Mr. Fox.
While they were talking, the smallest fox had sneaked a jar off the shelf and had taken a gulp. Wow, he gasped. Wow-wee! You must understand that this was not the ordinary weak fizzy cider one buys in a store. It was the real stuff, a home-brewed, fiery liquor that burned in your throat and boiled in your stomach. Little baby foxes shouldn't have any of the cider. I don't know how many fox years it is, but probably be 21 human years before you can go into being secret cider. Okay. Ah! Gasped the smallest fox. This is some cider.
That's quite enough of that,
said Mr. Fox, grabbing the jar and putting it to his own lips. He took a tremendous gulp.
It's miraculous,
he whispered, fighting for breath.
It's fabulous. It's beautiful.
Okay, so I think what's happening is the animals want apple cider, like apple juice. Bean is making his own alcohol, liquor apple cider, which is a no-no. That's why Bean's out of his mind most of the time. The animals don't know this and they're starting to drink it. It's my turn, said Badger, taking the jar and tilting his head well back. The cider gurgled and bubbled down his throat. It's like melted gold, he gasped. Oh, Foxy, it's like drinking sunbeams and rainbows. You're poaching! Poaching! Shrieked Rat. Put that down at once. There'll be none left for me. Rat was perched upon the highest shelf in the cellar, peering out from behind a huge jar. There was a small rubber tube inserted in the neck of the jar, and Rat was using his tube to suck out the cider.
You're drunk.
The rat has like a straw into the cider jar.
You're drunk,
said Mr. Fox. Mind your own business, shrieked Rat. And if you great clumsy brutes come messing about in here, we'll all be caught. Get out and leave me to sip my cider in peace. At that moment, they heard a woman's voice calling out in the house above them. Hurry up and get that cider, Mabel, the voice called. You know Mr. Bean doesn't like to be kept waiting, especially when he's been out all night in a tent. The animals froze. They stayed completely still. Their ears pricked, their bodies tense. Then they heard the sound of a door being opened. The door was at the top of a flight of stone steps leading down from the house to the cellar. And now, someone was starting to come down those steps. And we will find out who it is next time on Storytime with Uncle Scotty. I have been your host, Uncle Scotty. We have our own mugs. Thank you for watching, liking, checking, clicking, and I will see you next time. Bye.